Spanish flag ship owner. We see how Dutch flag did accept the Panama certificates, and the Spanish flag does allow some Latin certificates, but not all. For example, Venezuela and Panama, they are not approved. And then this is like a huge issue for the expansion of the Spanish flag. We know that Spain has an appendix, worldwide, geographic competitive advantage, perpetual intrinsic value. Let's talk about the statistics and numbers. Of course, if the Spanish flag was really very competitive, the whole world could have these 75,000 ships with the Spanish flag. That's not possible because we have in Madrid 5 different ministries saying what is the equality, the social security, the pension, the hours of work, and the certificates, the endorsements, and so on. There's so many ministries, and none of them have a clue about what they do. They are really very worried about how can they build another building to have more government workers and then occupy 50,000 government buildings, which is exactly 20 million homes of kids. Now they are going to reduce the hours they work from 40 to 35 hours, and a kid could use this home for 168 hours. That's what we get, that's what we pay for. But is this a competitive advantage because now it's only 88 ships Spanish flag? Well, I could think, which is the type of fleet and the ships that the Spanish flag could benefit. For example, if you are a Dutch ship owner and you have been having holidays in the Canary Islands, in the Mallorca, beautiful islands, beautiful Spain, and because it's not only an appendix, it's also really the best beach, the most quality, clean, ecological, salted water, and so on. The people are magnificent. And so, if you have ships trading, for example, container ships, feeder ships within Spain, why don't you have a full fleet, the Spanish flag? Why? Because you're going to cut, let's say, transport cost, which is like 80,000 euros or dollars per container per year. Now, cut it to, let's say, 10 and have local Spanish crew there. We could have really feeder ships that are really touching Spain, let's say, 200 container ships. Then general cargoes, of course, many other Spanish ship owners are doing that. Why not? We need to start the simple things. You see, we cannot get the merchant marine in Madrid really into complicated areas, like, for example, chemical tankers and the DP, anchor handling. Wow, this is like too much for Madrid. They don't know where the sea is, which direction is the sea, even though they are surrounded, and they will be forever. But this is a huge opportunity for you, dear ship owner, because now the Spanish flag has the lowest tax. It has a 50% income tax deduction for the seafarers and the officers. It also has really one competitive advantage no other flag in this planet has, which is the coeficiente reductor, it's called. Reduction coefficient. So that means that if you are sailing 1 year on board, it really counts as me working 2 years ashore. Of course, it's a huge discrimination. It's a huge opportunity because if you go to Dutch flag, Italian flag, to any other flags, you don't have this reduction in the time sailing. So the Spanish crew are very proactive to join in this kind of ships, especially if you put those ships where they are close to the home and you simplify. This is not put too much complication for these government workers. You see, they're just worried about how many hours less they can do and how many more buildings they can have, so they can really have more chairs around the people, so they can talk about what not to do today. Therefore, please think intelligent today. Is a huge opportunity because we have really these emissions and then this really cost of transport, and why not invest in Spanish also? Hola, hasta luego, adiós, gracias.